Hi, I'm Karen Cash, and I'm CEO of Tech Alpharetta. Welcome to our Driving Innovation podcast series, where we explore the people and the companies that are helping to drive innovation in the city of Alpharetta. And today we have Sharad Varshney, CEO and founder of Oval Edge, here. And I'm so happy to see you again, Sharad, being a graduate of our Tech Alpharetta incubator. We miss seeing you and the team around the center.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really honored to be here, and love to answer all the questions you have.
Yes.
And so thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely, and to lead it right off, I have to congratulate you. I mean, the growth that you have driven the company through over in such a short period of time. You've grown from four employees to 140 in 4 years?
Yeah, in 4 years we grow that much, but most of the growth came in last 2 years.
Yeah, that's just phenomenal, and a tremendous market valuation to go with it. So I want to congratulate you first on that tremendous growth. And
thank you so much.
Yes, and just hear a little bit. Let's share with our audience a little bit about your background and what took you from when you graduated with your degree up until today, to hear about your journey too, because it's so fascinating.
Sure.
So your degree was nuclear
It was nuclear engineering. Yeah.
Yes.
So I graduated from IIT Kanpur, which is one of the premier college in India. So we graduated, and I was figuring out what to do in nuclear engineering. And that time it was like 2000, and India did one of the first nuclear tests. So it was in India you couldn't do anything in nuclear engineering. So I went out into computer science and kind of did find the jobs in computer science area, because that was evolving. So did couple of the 3 years in about the one company called Tata, and came into US in 2001.
Okay.
And so I did that for some time, and doing mostly the process management using the computers.
Okay.
And then I moved to, then I came down to Atlanta, maybe in 2003. Yeah. And we came to Atlanta in 2003, and then I joined a company here, and then we moved to the area which is asset management area.
Physical asset
management.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not a financial asset management. It's a physical, which literally utilities companies uses like crane, like turbines to manage all these things. So there's a whole software, maintenance management software is there. So I was basically implementing those software to most of the nuclear utilities then. So ultimately my engineering degree was a nuclear engineering, but it didn't get fulfilled there. But I worked almost close to 50 nuclear power plants in US and everywhere, kind of doing their maintenance management systems.
Okay.
Yeah. So did that, and then I joined a company which is kind of like a consulting startup with only 4 people in the company, and then we took it to 140 altogether. So we took that company to next level, and then after that we came out of that company and started my own. And that time when I came out of my own, I realized that this part. I was really that I will not do in the asset management space, because I left them. So I don't want to compete in that area. So I want to find, what is the next upcoming thing? Because the data was really the next area of the technology revolution at that time. So I realized, let's do something in the data area, and found the company Oval Edge, but realized that it is kind of difficult, the big data area was at that time. So I joined the company named Hortonworks, and now the company
Hortonworks?
Yeah. Now that Hortonworks is merged to Cloudera, which is one of the prime big data company. So I joined them, learned probably 2 years, going to different customers, trying to find their problems. And once I found what the area really, the data governance space we want to be in, I left Hortonworks and really started working on Oval Edge at that time.
Okay, and so that was about when? Was that around 2017?
Yeah, 2015.
2015, okay.
Yeah. So, I think to 2015 I left. Yeah, I think 2017 is the right word.
Okay.
2017, yeah.
Okay.
So 2017 is the one when I left Hortonworks and really joined the Oval Edge full time.
Right.
And then started working on it.
Yeah, and Hortonworks is a fairly large company, so that was going to be a big change for you to return to a startup type environment, I would think.
Yeah, but Hortonworks still a startup.
Was it still a startup?
Was a startup.
At Yeah.
So it was a large company, but it's still the culture was startup and everything was kind of startup culture. So it was I learned a lot at Hortonworks. How to start a startup, how to how to go to different customer, how to present something. So there are a lot of learning I did at Hortonworks, which really helped me in the entrepreneurship journey in my Oval Edge.
And so when you decided to focus full-time on your business at Oval Edge in 2017, did you have any concerns about the relative risk of starting a business and running a business without the kind of the security of the paycheck and everything else?
Yeah, I think that's always, the risk is always there. But I thought that it will not take that long. I thought maybe 3 to 6 months I will be able to have a product out and able to demonstrate that. But took quite a bit longer than the 3 to 6 months.
Yes, it always takes longer than you want or think it will.
That is the most, I would say, the difficult part, because when you thought that your product market fit is going to take only 3 to 6 months, but took more than that. And that is I think there is definitely risk. But I think that the risk, we took it, and me and my wife already, we were into it together. We kind of, okay, let's take a risk and go into it. And then we went all into it.
And this has been a family affair for you, right? You and your wife have been working together at this since
Yeah, we
day
were working
one.
together on that. First I was doing it, my wife was not all in, but she saw everything, that how it is going, and so she also contributed quite a bit. Now she's full-time into it. But she started full-time even as soon as we started. But she was not like, at the very start, she was not committed for it, but she saw me as well as Shirni, who was another co-founder of mine, joining, and then she come into full-time, and then now she's full-time into it.
Yeah.
More than we're all more than like full-time.
Right. And your kids have been involved here or there as well, right?
Yeah, it's a family affair. So
Yes.
we talk less now, family, kids, and other things. We talk more data governance at home. That's how it is. It's because even my son, who is 9 now, but he can talk about data governance.
Right. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So when you first started focusing full-time on Oval Edge, what would you say you found to be your biggest challenge at that time?
The biggest challenge is finding the product market fit. So when I was starting this, what really the problem area we are trying to fix and how to fix it. That is the biggest challenge I would consider. So when we build a kind of a minimal viable product. So we build it and we can go into the customer to demonstrate it. Customer used to love that idea.
Right.
But they are not ready to sign the paycheck. And they're not ready to commit for it. And they used to love it because they use we had the algorithms, which is building new models and something. Everybody used to love it. But these are not the things which they really need that. So we kind of had the vitamin kind of thing, but not really had a painkiller which customers needed at that time. So that was the biggest, I would say, the pain point we had to find what really customer want. And that's, we struggled for 2 years to find that really what customers want and how to address the problem. That is the biggest challenge we had.
And so how did you ultimately explore what the customers really wanted? Was it just ongoing discussions and presentations to prospective clients that helped provide that insight? Or how did you decide, okay, well, this is how we have to build the product based on what the customers are saying?
I think the first one, when I used to present to the customer, we used to listen to them. But most of the time, customer will not say what they want. Customer, you present something, I don't want that, or I want that, right? So there are certain things they will say, yeah, this is very good, cool. I say, okay, can we sell it to you? Then, no, we are looking really for this, right? So something they are looking for and something they want, right? So there are two things which were not matching. So we keep listening to the customer and keep hearing their voice and whatever is behind their voice. So you need to really go to the pain point, what is behind what they're saying something is. Right. So that is the biggest challenge, I would say, and really, but the discussion is about when you discuss something, they will tell you the problem, what problem they want to solve. And then you have to ask a couple of more whys.
Right.
That why are you asking this particular feature? People will say, hey, I need this feature, but they will not tell you the why they need feature. And most of the time, customer will tell you the solution, which is from their perspective, this is the best solution. But from the product perspective, they may not be the best solution out there.
Right.
So you have to really discuss that why are they even asking for this feature. So when you go 1 or 2 whys, then you really know, okay, this is the problem they want to solve. Or maybe I can create a little tiny feature here that will solve the problem. They
Right.
have it. So that's where I think a lot of discussions with the customer, present them, and then ask them feedback. And that's continuous process, iterative process, has basically built up that solution which we are today.
Yeah, so it's a lengthy customer discovery process, but really critical then because it.
It is the most critical part in the business. I would say
Yes.
that to find the product market fit is the most critical part, because that's where people can find the problem and the solution to that.
Right, right, because you can develop a product, but if the customer doesn't want it, then you shouldn't develop it, even if you can.
Yeah, that's the means we developed the solution, but customer didn't want it that, right?
Right.
So even the first thing we build is like our relationship algorithm, which can find the relationship from one data to another data to another data. And I used to demonstrate to customer, people used to love it, but they didn't have a pain to buy it.
Right.
Now,
It
but
wasn't
they
a
had a
pain
pain
point.
to see that where the data come from, where it goes.
Yes.
So when we build that, now after build that where data come from, where it goes, which is what we call it lineage, when we build this, then it's, hey, relationship is also good because we need this, but if the relationship is on top of that, that will be amazing. So this is
Right.
our competitiveness, that somebody selling relationship now, lineage, and then we
Yes.
sell to relationship as well. Oh, this is complete package. If you only sell the lineage, what customer want, that is now you have they have a competitive disadvantage. We have an advantage now because we have
Right.
the vitamins on top of painkillers as well.
Yeah, yeah. So ultimately, the product that you developed, talk about that a little, if you will. Tell us what your
Yeah.
product does.
So I think it's difficult to explain. So let me take an analogy,
Sure.
right? So let's say you want to make a tomato soup, and you want to make a tomato soup. You need tomatoes. So ultimately, what you do is you go to the farmer's place. And hey, can I have tomatoes? And they say, no, I have pumpkin. Then you go to another one. Do you have tomatoes? Then you say, no, I have, something else. And they say another one. They say, oh, I have tomatoes. So
Right.
this is what happens when in an organization you want to build anything related to data, and you go to the data, and you say, hey, do you have data for it? So no, I don't have it. Maybe other department have it. Maybe other department have it, right? So you want to make a tomato soup, but you're looking for the tomatoes, which is raw ingredient, right? So they don't have any processes defined. So then what it comes to the data catalog, which is the new one innovation we did it, which is basically building a supermarket, right?
That's a great analogy.
So when you build the supermarket, then you have all the tomatoes at one place, and you have tomatoes, you have pumpkins, you have, spinach, and everything is kind of nicely cataloged. But that is also, that solves only one problem of that you have tomatoes. But now if you go to the tomatoes, buy the tomatoes, you can go to the Publix, you can buy tomatoes for 99 cents, and somewhere you can also find the tomatoes which say, hey, locally grown in Georgia, and you will there's a $2 a pound.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Whole Food, that hey, organically, locally grown in Georgia,
Right.
then it's like $4 a pound. Because now tomatoes are tomatoes, right? But because of its quality and it's where it's grown and how it's valuable for you here, that basically decide the price of that, right? So that is what the governance process is. Now, so imagine that all the tomatoes are just say tomatoes. You don't know which one is the high quality, which one is the low quality. So the governance process ensures that this is a high quality. It says organic. There is a body which certifies that. This says it's organic. So this is what the governance processes look like in terms of the data governance, which basically tells you, what is the high quality data, what is the low quality data, what is the bad quality data, why you should trust this data, why you should not use this data. So all this processes around that, which is kind of governance. So we are kind of the data
Right.
catalog, which is the first thing, then the data governance. So we're like end-to-end data governance solutions.
Okay. I love that analogy. It makes it very easy to understand. And so that's the service that you can provide to your customers is the ability to use your solution in order to ensure the reliability and the high quality of their data.
Yes. So we focus mostly on three aspects from the data governance aspect. There are three aspects. One is the data literacy. So tell everybody in the organization what data exists.
Right.
Then another part is the data quality, which is like improving the quality of the data on a continuous basis.
Sure.
And third part is data access, so the people have access to the data. Otherwise, there may be like a lot of problem comes in the compliance issues, etc. Then we
Right.
take care of that part of it.
Okay, great. And so who was the first client to sign a contract?
Okay. I don't know whether I can take the name of them, but it was a very small contract. I still remember that I got the Tech Alpharetta check for probably like $4,000.
Yeah, but that was an exciting day,
That was
right?
exciting,
to get your first
and then I
check.
took a picture of it, and then I said, okay, look. Before that, we got like big clients, like
Yes.
EY becoming customers, etc. But they are mostly not like a product customer. They were like mostly on a services contract.
Okay.
But this was like a real product. They bought the product. They really liked the services, and they bought the product itself for 1 year for 1 year, and that's where I think that now they're still customer. They're still growing.
Well, they are still a customer. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So that's where I think we got them, and so it was an exciting moment because to people to see really pay for the product which we built for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And since that time, you've did that help open the doors to landing other
that
clients?
helped open the doors. At least we got to some position that, okay, this is what the customer want.
Right.
Then we kind of replicated quite a bit, and then we still are figuring out that market, frankly
Yes.
speaking. It's not that the market is, we have figured it out. It's an open opportunity in front of us because everybody needs data, and we are providing access to the data with the high quality. Customers can get it.
Right.
So, yes, this opened to the doors to the multiple customers, and then after that, we are able to get to more customers easily. But most of the thing, what is helping us is our blogs and our, the thoughts which we have put on internet. Most of our leads comes from that. People
Oh, is
read
that- that's how you
that's
market, really?
most of the marketing effort is around that area, and most of the leads comes from that. And
Okay.
even now, we doing a lot of demonstration of the product, and that basically leads to a lot of business.
Right. And today, you guys are really regarded as somewhat as thought leaders in the data governance space.
We are the thought leader in the data governance space, and we are like, thank you, and we are becoming quite a bit leader in that area. We are also opening up Data Governance Academy, which will be like a virtual academy where people can learn about everything about data governance from point A to all the way to the end.
And when does that happen? When are you going to open
It
that?
should be take probably 3 months.
Okay.
By the time we have written all the content, now it's the lot of videos and everything will come out of it, and that will create the complete academy in data governance. So the people can, students as well as not only students, but the people who want to implement data governance can learn everything about A to Z in the data governance thing.
What a fantastic idea. And you've obviously enjoyed some very successful growth as a result of your lengthy and thorough customer discovery process, leading you to develop the right solution for what the need was in the market. Because when you were at Tech Alpharetta, it was 4 people in the corner working every single day. You guys were heads down, but it was 4 people. And you said you're up to 140 today, right?
So yeah, so we are 140 now, and yes, means we are growing because the customers are demanding, and we are growing the number of customers, so that we need people to support them as well as we need product to build.
Right.
So there are both parts there, and we have like the one of the major area of growth is like we have like close to 100 different connectors which goes to different applications and connect to them.
Right.
So that is why we have a connector team which is kind of 50 people now in
Oh,
that
wow.
area,
Wow.
which is just keep building the connectors.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the area where we are growing quite a bit.
That's
Yeah, I
terrific.
mean, we also regarded as one of the fastest growing company in Atlanta, but I think we will keep growing, and we do not see any. I'm hoping that we will keep growing continuously on that basis.
Yeah, and you guys took investor funding a couple of years ago. Did that help you, help enable you to staff up the
Yes,
business?
definitely that's the
Yes.
area. Means we are able to take that. That funding came at the time where, it was very well needed.
Yes.
Right. Because we are not able to. It's hard to scale without funding,
Right.
and it's hard to find funding without a product success.
Yes.
So once we
Yes.
got the success, and we got few checks, and then after that we got the funding, and then the funding helped us to kind of like take us to the next level. And even now we have a lot of venture capital funds trying to invest into our company.
Right.
We are still not taking the funding. We probably take by this year and another round of funding to kind of accelerate the growth even
Right.
further.
And your growth to date is, your revenues have grown tremendously, right, over the past few years?
We have grown quite a bit. I mean, we
Would you say what,
kind
10
of,
times, 20 times?
Oh, it's more than 20 times. Yeah.
That's wonderful
yeah.
news.
So yeah, we have grown the revenue quite a bit, as well as customer count, as well as we're growing in all 3 dimensions. I
Right.
would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sharad, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Oh, thank you.
You've grown Oval Edge into a true startup success story.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Yes, yes. Thanks for spending the time to tell us a little bit about your journey. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.